Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode
Hello.
17 of the DNS Runners, where we are definitely not stressed.
No, absolutely not.
We are here tonight to finish, well, maybe finish, hopefully finish. How much do we really have to say? Our
Good
recap
question.
of the 2024 Chicago Marathon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm fixing the volume again.
So I want to start off by saying if you listen to our last episode, you may have noticed that we spoke about the little titles on the screen that were showing up. I went to edit this episode and learned that apparently they don't get saved in the recording. So, regardless of if you listened to the episode or you watched the episode, you'll probably have no idea what we're talking about. So, apologies to the listeners at home, and I hope you enjoy us sounding like maniacs as we laugh at our own jokes. But
Well, isn't that why they're listening to this anyway?
yeah,
I
that's
feel
what
like that's what we do to begin
all a
with.
podcast
So
is. So, last time we got up to the expo.
Yes.
So I think we should start with dinner the night before the marathon.
sure. Who
So
wants to lead?
We all met up at, I'm gonna butcher this name. It doesn't look like it rhymes, but in my head it rhymes. We went to Harry
Me
Carey.
too.
I always think
Harry
helter
Carey.
skelter.
I
I'm
say
just
Harry Carey.
Harry Carey.
Oh, Harry
Um,
Carey's. It's very good there.
it was good though. I enjoy. We got some bread. Um, it was very quiet when we got there, and we were all a little like, "Ooh, is it gonna be? Are we gonna be the loud ones?" Because there was
I
like
was
nobody there.
really surprised when we walked in and they seated us immediately. Like it's the night before the Chicago Marathon. We're less than a mile from the start line,
Mm-hmm.
and I had made the reservation because when I ran Chicago in 2021, I really struggled to find a reservation the night before because I didn't do it in advance.
Yeah.
So I was thinking this place is going to be a poppin'.
Me too.
By the time
And
we
we
were leaving,
weren't.
there
We
was like
weren't.
people waiting to get in. So I think it
Yeah.
was just the timing that we got there, which was what,
Yeah, I
like
think maybe we were
5:30?
like just a little bit earlier than like the rush, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Because as we were sitting, like the place was filling up, and then like as we were leaving, and there was like people waiting to get like there was like people waiting in the lobby to sit. So we
Yeah.
weren't like we were just trendsetters, as
Yeah.
usual.
Yeah. So I'm a sucker for a charcuterie board, and Mike suggested we order a charcuterie board to start. So naturally,
Naturally, you
had
guys
some
are covered.
meats and cheeses, and I ate as many olives as I could.
Yes, because Kelly's the only one that eats olives. So
Yeah,
I'm training my
that's true.
child. It's okay. There'll be two of us soon.
Oh, that's true. He does like them.
What did you guys get in terms of entrees?
So I originally was looking at like their pasta menu, and I was like, "Ooh, they had a few good pasta options." But then the waitress was reading the specials, and there was like a seafood. It was a seafood linguine, and I was like, "That's where I need to be right now. Is I need to be bathing in that seafood linguine."
See, I feel
And
like I would be very nervous to eat seafood the night before a marathon.
I would be nervous to eat it the week leading up.
Right? Like,
so
my.
agreed. I typically don't have that kind of reaction with seafood though.
Okay.
So did I also get a drink with dinner? Yes. Was it delicious
You
and
did.
very pear flavored? Also yes. So
Yes, you did.
that I said I wasn't gonna get a drink, but the pear it tasted exactly like a pear. It was wonderful.
I don't think I'm gonna like a drink with this meal.
Actually, I think I like a drink with this meal.
Oh man. What about
Uh,
you, Katie? What'd you go for?
I took every chance ever and had regular spaghetti. Um, I try to have like gluten free usually since I
Uh-huh.
am like allergic to life. Um, but I had regular spaghetti and it was great and I didn't get a stomach ache and like that was the first time I've ever eaten pasta before a marathon.
Oh
really?
wow.
I no yeah, I don't usually eat pasta. I usually eat like this is weird, but I usually eat like sauteed spinach and some sort of wild rice.
Okay.
Okay, the rice I
Um,
could understand, but the spinach, I feel like weirdly enough, I think the spinach would get me.
oh, I could eat spinach. I eat spinach at breakfast. I love spinach.
I
So
Oh
like
like
no,
I
spinach
like
and
don't get me
eggs. That's
wrong,
the
I can eat
correct
spinach
move.
all day long, like call me Popeye. But like,
Oi, 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 oi.
I feel like that it's depending on how it's made, like that's gonna go right through me.
yeah. I understand.
You
Um,
can change my titles?
oh my God.
I didn't know you could do that.
How can you do that? Can
I
we
got
do that?
overwritten. My title says
Oh my,
Popeye.
So
can we do
listeners at
that?
home, while
Oh,
you're
we can't
changing
do
the
that,
titles.
Mike.
I can't do it. Only Kelly can, apparently.
I'm in control. Mike is now called Popeye.
Messed up.
Oh man. But I'm
But
happy you're able to do that. And hey, you PR'd.
who?
You
Me?
had your pasta, you ran a PR.
No, I did.
What?
I yeah. I mean, I don't. I was just happy I didn't get stomach ache. To be honest.
The little things. It's just the little things,
Oh
not the big
man.
things, just the little ones.
Yeah, like I went into it and like Darren was like, "What are you gonna eat?" And I was like, "Well, I'm definitely gonna like probably be an asshole on Friday with what I eat because Saturday it doesn't matter." This is how I live my life,
I get that.
and then I was just so happy I didn't get sick from it. It's been a really really long time since I've had like gluten pasta, so
Yeah.
um, yeah, it was really good. I liked it.
Good.
Kelly, what about
Um,
you?
so Dennis and I took the route of we each got like an app, so I did a bowl of soup because I'm a sucker for soup. And then we split a penne alla vodka that I struggled to eat any of.
You did?
I did because Otto was getting so crabby at that point
Oh
Hmm.
yeah.
that I was just trying to get him to eat dinner. Um,
The
so
We
mom
had a long
meal.
day.
yeah, so I definitely have like anxiety around like leaving leftovers, which makes zero sense because I'm a person that like doesn't really eat leftovers. But like, am I capable of leaving food at a restaurant that I might decide I want in an hour, and I never decide I want it in an hour? Um, no, I'm not capable of leaving it. I have to take it with me.
Rumor has it it's still in the fridge and in my hotel room.
Yeah, because when I left the restaurant, I forgot it, and Mike took it back. So yeah, so I ate what I could. I did eat a ton of bread when it came to the table, so I
Oh
had
yeah,
that going for me.
he came back with they came back with extra bread.
That bread was
Like
so
we were
good.
like, yes, bread, yes, yum.
Bread, delicious. And I did have bruschetta too, so I had some food. Just by the time the food got there, I was just trying to feed a cranky baby, and
Yeah.
then I was like, "Okay, bye, guys, I'm leaving. I'll send you money."
And yeah, then we were only there for like maybe 15, 20 minutes after you left.
Okay, not too bad.
So we were at, nothing too crazy happened while you were gone.
So while we're waiting for Katie to come back, what did you do when you got back from dinner? To get
Dinner?
ready for the following morning.
Shh. Oh, I texted you guys because we were debating on whether we were going to meet downstairs real quick before going to
You,
bed.
you and Katie were debating that. I was,
We debated without you and said,
yeah.
okay, maybe Katie will come, maybe Kelly will come down, and then we decided what we were going to do and just not do
I
it.
was
So
trying to get the baby to bed when you guys were sending those texts back and forth, and when he finally settled enough that like I could be on my phone, I saw those and I looked at them and I thought, I am not putting clothes back on. I am in pajamas already,
yes.
and they're not public pajamas.
It was more. I mean, it was more just sit down and decide when to get up in the morning to walk over. So it
No,
wasn't like we
absolutely.
needed to meet in person.
Yeah.
We did
And
it over text.
ultimately, we figured it out. I get it. We like each other. We want to hang out. But, like, I was like, nope, not leaving this room.
Yeah. Uh,
Oh. So we were talking about how in the hotel room, my bathroom was a little bit sketchy.
Was it?
Yeah, basically it looked like they had repaired a wall very poorly.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was like right next to the toilet. Like, remember when we were saying I had a late check-in?
Yeah.
Uh, um,
we exist
I'm
like this.
I'm convinced our check-in was so late because the people that were there before me like either busted a pipe in that wall or like kicked through the bathroom wall right next to the toilet, and the hotel was just like wallpapering over the hole in the
Are
wall
you
because it was
fucking
like
kidding me?
a soft wall.
Oh, I would have been like give me my money back or
I
give
mean,
me a
did I
better
have
room?
anxiety about it in the middle of the night? Yeah, I did. I was convinced my kid was going to fall through it, but I just kept him out of the bathroom for the rest of the weekend.
Please. Did you complain?
Oh man. So basically, we got back from dinner. We texted and decided what time we were going to meet the next morning.
Yes.
I got the baby to bed begrudgingly. He did not want to go into the pack and play. He wanted to just me to hold him all night and not sleep. Um, and then I, as quietly as possible, played the game of like getting all of my stuff together for the next morning and packing my checked bag because when I do races, I pack like I'm going away for a full weekend.
It's true. I saw the
Yeah,
bag. I saw
I'm
the
way
bag.
prepared. I'm prepared.
She had to change her clothes, change her shoes, change his... Did you change socks?
I just took off the socks. I had
Okay.
UFOs for after the
Yes.
race.
Okay. I was like,
And I was
you...
very glad I did. I was so happy to take off my marathon outfit before we walked back. That walk back took 4 times as long as the walk there.
I was just talking about this with Jude yesterday. I was like, oh no, I was talking to... It was Jude and my parents I was talking to. And I was like, the walk to the race was like a nice 15-minute walk. It was beautiful. The way back was 2 hours. What
Why
was
was
that?
that walk so long?
Yeah, it was absurd.
I
It didn't help
actually
that we were all like... For those listening, we hobbled.
I stopped at Stan's and got a coffee and a donut.
I love
That
that.
sounds...
I
That
had
sounds
to.
smart.
I was like, I need something,
Yeah.
and I know that when I get in my room, I'm not moving until it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So Katie, what did you do to get ready the night before the race?
What did I do? I had all of my stuff, including my gels, laid out by about 4 p.m. I had
Oh
everything
yeah, you didn't go to
ready.
the expo.
Uh-huh.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
what did I do? I like just stared at my marathon plan. And I yeah.
Your little itty bitty marathon plans, like
Katie's marathon plan was about 1 inch wide by 3 inches long. She
yes.
needed her magnifying glass, her eyepiece to see it.
It was so little. Um,
Monocle. Monocle is the word that I'm looking for. She had to
it
whip her
was
monocle out mid-race.
it was so
Oh
tiny.
yes, I see. I should be running approximately an
I literally
8:23.
I literally was going, you can see it. There's a picture. I'll send it to you guys after. You know, when you get the pictures and it's like the other people's picture, but you're in the
Yeah, in the
background?
background. Yeah.
You see me like
Mhm.
this, looking at my plan because I literally I had to squint to see this joint.
There's a photo like that from my first marathon where you know when like you're in a group chat during a marathon and your Garmin is just like buzz, 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 buzz. I'm in the last mile of my first ever marathon, and I was traveling with my in-laws for that trip, and they were talking about like somebody was going to pick up food for all of us, and it was like everybody else. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of us, and 7 of us were running the marathon, and I was running it the fastest of the 7 of us running. So the rest of them were like several miles behind me, and you know they're just like we're walking at that point. They're texting, and it was just like there's a picture where you can see I'm like clearly like about the watch not stopping. Like the face is just like get me out of this group message.
So like me during every photo during a marathon.
Yeah, Mike gets the best photos. You really do. They're gems.
Oh my god! But guys,
I
did
do
you?
what I
You
can.
probably didn't. I looked through my marathon photos. There's not a single good photo. Like there's one funny one where it's me and Mike taking a selfie. The rest of them are
Oh,
just like
we were doing one of
the
our
worst
mile
photos of
ones,
my
and
life.
like we're just like
Yeah.
purposely looking bad, and it was funny.
Yes,
The other
exactly.
ones are me accidentally looking bad.
Yeah, on purpose. Right.
One of them has just like just the corner of my eye. That's my favorite one. It's
I
Yeah.
like when
love
Kelly was the
them.
Dalmatian lady.
Yes, exactly. Um. Okay, so we got all our stuff together. I think we met at 6:05, 6. We tried to meet at 6:05, and I think I didn't get there until 6:15 because the elevators in our hotel were
Oh God, it was
slow.
atrocious.
Yeah.
Um, I did
Marriott,
not.
Chicago, fix your elevators.
And then
If
the
you're
walk-in
listening,
bathrooms.
Marriott, Chicago, if you're listening to this, this is two. Maybe Katie, are you a Gold Elite member of Marriott?
She's a family member.
I am a
Two.
family and friends member.
All right, so two Gold members and a family and friends member reporting live. Fix your elevators.
Oh man.
PSA, if you're out there listening.
There were so many
Yeah.
times where like it buzzed on my floor and I'd be like, oh, it's here. And then I'd be like, no, it's not. Where is it? Where's the damn elevator? So annoying.
All right, so
Yeah, so
we met up in the morning. We did
Yes.
it.
we did it.
We
I
did it,
forced you
We
guys
made
to
it
go
the
earlier
lobby.
than you wanted.
Oh, it was good when we went though. So Mike and I started in the last corral of the race. So
Yeah.
we were able to get to like the first row of the last corral.
Oh, yeah, we
So
were
like,
like-
we're gonna start in that one. We're better off starting at the beginning of the corral versus the end of the corral.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So having that extra time let us like get there early enough that we were in like the first 2 rows of it.
Yeah,
That's
there was
pretty
like
cool.
maybe a row or two of people standing in front of us.
Wow, that's
That
great.
was- yeah.
That's really good.
But yeah, so we walked from our hotel to the start area.
Mhm.
It was under a mile walk, I feel like.
Yeah, it really wasn't bad.
And it was funny because when we were leaving our hotel, there was like an international tour group that had like a flag. So we're like, we don't even have to pull up Google Maps. We just follow them.
We're all
And
going to
very
the same place.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
very quickly, we just like converged with the 800 other runners coming from the exact same direction.
Yep.
It was
They
like,
can't
this is the
all be
best.
going to the wrong place.
No.
Yeah, right? Could you imagine? So we got to the gates. We, took lots of silly videos on the way there to avoid puking or pooping our pants. I liked the security at this marathon. This was probably the easiest security I've ever gone through.
So
Yeah.
I like the security too because it was so much quicker than New York City. Like New
It
York,
was-
and I like that there were like many entry points.
yeah.
The one thing I found concerning was that like literally no one checked my bag and like
Well-
I just walked in holding a bottle of water and they were like, "Good morning."
The things that you walked through, those 2 panels, they're the same security that Disney uses. It can see if you have any like large objects or like they basically scan you and you would have gotten pulled to the side if there was something that looked
Why
like you
doesn't New
shouldn't
York
have
City
it.
do that?
Probably because they're expensive.
It's
And New
crazy.
York-
Like, do you
they'd rather
remember
just
in
shut
New York
down
City,
everything
you
and not
literally
care.
have to take off your watch. You have to take everything out of your spy belt. Everything goes into a little.
Worst.
It takes so long.
Yeah.
It takes-
Mhm.
I mean,
I
maybe
mean-
they will this year.
I'm definitely not complaining though about the security because we literally walked through it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause
Like
you
when I
know,
ran in
oh,
20
I can't bring my water bottle in. Oh no! He walks right through with it.
because well, in 2021 when I walked it, they literally made me pour my water bottle out.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like convinced I wasn't going to be allowed to bring one again.
Well,
But
I mean,
guess
it said it like right on the page that you weren't supposed to have full water
It
bottles.
did say don't bring it.
Okay.
It did.
Not crazy.
It did say it. And also, it was so great. I was so glad I didn't throw mine out because I put it in my checked bag so that I'd have like
Mhm.
extra
perfect.
water for the
Yeah.
for the ride home. The fucking the stumble
You
home.
say ride, all I think is like all those pedicabs that were there, and I was like, how much money would I have to spend to get them to take me back to the hotel right now, and is it worth it?
You know
The
that
horse-drawn
like
carriages.
last
Wherever they
year.
Well, not the
The
horse-drawn
rickshaw?
carriage.
No,
the
not the
bike-
horse.
the
The
rickshaws?
bike carriage.
The bike ones.
Yes.
You know that
Yeah.
last year after New York City, I ran it with one of Darren's best friends. We didn't run together, but we finished together. And so Darren and Dan's wife met us like after, right? We found them on the streets.
Mhm.
And we had to walk a good distance to get to the car. And Darren was like, I'm so tired. I'm just going to get one of those bike cabs. I'm like, I just ran a fucking marathon. Just walk it. And he was like, hop in with us. Him and Dan got in one. And he was like, hop in with us. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I just ran a marathon. I can handle walking to the car. And I'm pretty sure they paid like over $50 to go like 6
Oh my
blocks.
god.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's right. I think it was Mikhail said she did that after a race once, like not realizing how expensive it was going to be.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so we got to the start area. So the bag checks are in different places for that race depending on I think what your wave is.
Yes.
So there were 3 different colors. It was red, orange, and what was the third one? Does anybody remember?
Blue.
Blue. Alright, so it was red, orange, and blue. And Katie and I had red bag check, and Mike had orange bag check. So we started our morning by trying to find where the heck the bag checks were, because they were nowhere near where we went in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
of course, like the orange and red were like on an L in
Yes.
Yeah,
opposite
they were
directions.
farthest from each other.
Yeah, so we walked over to red bag check first to get Katie's check since she had the earliest start time.
Yeah.
And the porta potty lines were crazy as we were walking there.
Crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I'm sorry,
I
but
mean,
like,
that's on brand for like any marathon. I feel
I
like
don't know. I don't agree. I don't agree. Like, New York City has done so much to improve on that. Like, they have porta potties in the
not
corrals
my
now.
corral,
Yeah.
not my wave, Katie.
Yeah, but
Remember,
didn't
my
did,
wave's also the wave that ran out of water cups for New York. So
oh and
back in
that's your
my
last
wave, we don't
experience
have
with
good
New York
bathrooms.
City.
Well, they're there. They're just full of shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought it was, I mean, 2019, I remember everyone freaking out because there were not enough porta potties for all of us.
Yeah.
And then, like, now when you go, like, you can be like, oh, I can wait on this line, or I can just go into my corral and pee because there's a million porta potties in there too, which is so nice.
Whereas at
Yeah.
Chicago, Mike gets to get traumatized.
Oh, Mike saw a lot of wieners.
Everyone was peeing in the bushes, but the bushes weren't like solid bushes. So you just like, what's everyone doing? Okay,
Do you know
here
what's
we are.
funny about that? My friend Mike, that Kelly met,
Yeah.
also peed also peed
Yeah,
behind a bush, and his
you're giving out. They were
girlfriend mentioned seeing a bunch of wieners.
Oh
like there
man.
was peep shows over there, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
Chicago
sure.
peep show.
Yeah.
yeah.
So Katie went and checked her bag. Mike and I got in line for the porta potties. I started nebulizing because I hauled my little portable nebulizer with me to race morning.
Hmm.
Because my asthma was still doing its jerk ass thing. Your friend, you actually brought your friend Mike over while I was doing that. He looked at me and goes, "What is that thing?"
He said something. He goes, I feel so bad. The only thing I said to Kelly this morning was, what the fuck is that?
Should have been like performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got a laugh out of it. If it's any consolation.
Oh, good. I'm sure he'll listen to this and feel better about himself.
Oh, Mike, I was so self-conscious after that. I couldn't believe you said that to me. It ruined my mental headspace before
Yeah,
Chicago. No, I'm kidding.
I almost
It was
quit
all
the
good.
race totally. I almost just went home.
Oh man. Yeah. So we waited in the very long porta potty line,
Yes.
and and it was one of those things where it was like a single person line, and then it split into like 10 or 20 grouped off lines. Like
Yeah.
the way any race morning is, where like one line goes to 3 or 4 porta potties, and people civilly like pick one or the other. Except right when we got to the point where we were like in the line, people way in the back decided that they were done doing the civilized. Oh, we take turns, and they just made single file lines at every single porta potty, and I wanted to rock the girl
Crazy.
behind us in the face.
It was so crazy. I was like, what is happening here? Like,
It was
I feel
like
like there's like
it was,
unspoken rules.
it was like 8:40, whatever time, like 1 minute, like boom, everyone moved. And they all did it at the same
It
time,
was
like it was on cue.
ridiculous. It was that
Yeah.
once the one group did it, one person was like, "Oh, every bathroom has its own line." No, no, they
No.
do not.
No.
Is this your first
Each
race?
porta potty gets 3 to 4. I mean, each line gets 3 to 4 porta potties.
Exactly, and you take turns, because what if like the person in front of you is shitting for 10 years and you just like picked the wrong
Now
line?
you're
Like
on the bad line.
you need to diversify your line
It's
options so that
true.
like you're not stuck there forever, so that the weight is shared. We're civilized marathoners.
Can I tell us how you really feel about this?
I have a lot of bathroom thoughts.
It does.
It was a literal shit show.
Literally, yes.
It really was. Yeah, that was
So,
rough.
by the time we got out of the bathrooms, it was time for Katie to run away and leave us until
Yes.
Yes.
post race. So we said goodbye to Katie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it like they were going to, like, you had to be in your corral at that time. But then my entire corral was on the side of the corral. We weren't even in the corral. So, like, it wouldn't have made a difference if I was there or not.
Oh my gosh.
It was so confusing. We were all like I was like, I don't understand why aren't we in there? Like, we were on the other side of the fence, you know?
Oh man.
Yeah.
And then, I'm like, okay, well, obviously this is because there's so many people up here, so they can't put us all in there, right? And, you have the douche lords in the line that are like pushing people and like trying to get to the front. I'm like, we're all going to the same fucking place.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
We're all doing the same 26.2 miles,
Yeah.
everyone.
It's not gun time, dude. Chill out. It was like kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I was off to the races.
as they say.
As they say, I was off to the races.
Once you left, we went and checked my bag because we were still by the red bag check. And then we went and found the orange bag check far, far away.
It was like
We
3 miles
Mike's
away.
bag.
I did a whole marathon before this marathon.
Basically.
Wild
And then,
times.
like I said, we got into our corral and we kind of just hung out there for like an hour.
Was it like
Yeah.
a full hour?
Ish.
Somewhere around there, but the spot we were sitting in, we were able to sit on the
Yeah.
we were able to like sit down, is so it was nice. We weren't just standing around for an hour. Like we got to sit and stretch.
Okay.
So we had no service in that corral, at least I did not. And of course, like I hadn't really been on my phone all morning just because we had been like going. And of course, this is the point where like I open up my phone and I see like an alert from my Ring camera that's in my house, and it says like, "Oh, someone's in your house at 2 a.m." And I'm like,
What?
the fuck? Like, who is in my house at 2 a.m.?" And obviously, like, I'm trying to pull up this video and I don't have enough service, and I can see like one frame of like a guy wearing glasses in my house. I'm like, who the fuck was in my house at 2 a.m.? And I'm texting Dennis, and of course he's not like answering me right away.
Nope.
So I open up the Ring camera, it's not loading. I'm trying to figure it out. I can tell there's like a few frames of a guy in my kitchen. He's holding a flashlight. He has a hood up. I'm like, what the hell? I'm texting Dennis. Dennis isn't answering me. It was my brother. My brother worked a late shift. He's a cop. He decided to come to my house at 2 a.m. to feed my cats.
Oh my
And scared
god.
the shit out of me. And Kevin goes everywhere with his little flashlight. Loves his flashlight.
So
And-
he looks like a criminal.
Yeah, he looks
Literally,
like a
though, 'cause he's
burglar.
like with his hood up, his tinted glasses on. I'm just
Oh
like,
my god.
Yep.
yeah. So thanks for feeding my cats, little bro.
That's so funny.
Oh man. But yeah. And we just once the waves in front of us went, they started collapsing the corrals down and just like moved us forward and forward and forward. We saw something interesting. We saw this one guy that was wearing a belt but with 3 bottles of Coca-Cola with just powder in them. And I'd never seen that before. Mm-hmm. And we're like looking at him and we're like, is he just going to eat sugar out of them? And then I realized he had an Iron Man hat on, and it occurred to me that it's probably like Tailwind or something, where like all
Oh
the
yeah,
carbs
it's
are
probably
in the powder.
Tailwind, yeah.
But I had never seen like a belt that had loops for like Coke bottles.
Yeah, it was like just 3 little like pint-sized, not even pint. It was small.
They were tiny bottles,
Like,
yeah.
little
but,
tiny bottles of Coca-Cola, but it was just the powder.
yeah.
Interesting.
And it was one of those
Yeah.
things where at first I was like, I'm so confused, and then I was like, oh, he's a triathlete.
He's
You're
an
like,
Iron Man.
It might be the Iron Man thing. I'm like, wait a second. He's got an Iron Man hat on. It
Yeah.
is the
They're a
Iron Man
special
thing.
breed.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if I could talk myself into doing that, I would. But I did a sprint try once. That was a lot.
I always said I would
do
do one before I turned 50, so I've got a little while.
I don't do open water swimming. So.
I don't want
I
to
just-
go in. I don't want to do closed water swimming, so I don't know who I think I am pretending I'll ever do one. But
Yeah.
Like I go swimming in a pool, but like can't catch me in the ocean. Sorry,
Yeah,
it won't happen.
yeah.
I think that had COVID not happened in 2020, I would have wound up doing more, but the timing of it, like my first triathlon was the summer of 2019, and I like trained for it that summer, and then said, okay, in 2020, like I'll do another one, and then everything shut down, so.
Yeah, I was like doing open water swims every week with the team. And I was finally getting used to like riding outside and stuff. And then COVID, and then I was pregnant. And I was like, I
Yeah.
don't have time for this right now.
No, absolutely.
No thanks.
So,
Um,
yeah.
So how was your nerves leading up to start time, Katie?
It's funny, like when it comes to the actual marathon itself, I'm not a nervous person. So like once I get like to my area and like where I am, it's like I'm
Mhm.
very calm and I'm just so excited about it. And obviously like they like started counting down. Like they were like, okay, 60 seconds until the Chicago Marathon, and then 30 seconds until the Chicago Marathon, And once they got down to 30 seconds, I like didn't even realize I did it, but I like screamed out loud, "Holy fucking shit!" And the woman next to me started laughing, and she was like, "We're doing this." And I was like,
Aw.
"All right, let's go," I don't know. I'm an oddball because I'm nervous about everything in life. I'm nervous about going on planes. I'm nervous about leaving my children. You put me on a marathon start line and I'm like, all right, let's fucking rock, man.
We're ready.
See,
Ready
no,
to
I was the
roll.
opposite. I was like I was a ball of stress. I mean, not stressed. I definitely wasn't stressed. But I was a ball of anxiety for like literally the entire week leading up to it. I was like, what if I can't do this? What if I don't do this? And then we were in the crowds, and I'm like trying to de-stress. I'm like, I know the second we cross that start line, I'm gonna be fine.
Yes.
It was true. The second
Yeah.
we crossed that start line, I was like, all right, we're doing this. We're here.
Yep.
I literally turned to
The
Mike.
walk up too was just like,
It was
what
so
is hard at
slow.
this point?
Yeah.
Yeah. I literally turned to Mike and I said, well, Mike, I'm going to be the passenger princess for this marathon. I'm making no decisions. I'm following you. If you want to walk, I will walk. If you want to
Oh.
run, I will run. I was
Oh,
like, my brain is going off. I'm here to exist and have a good time.
yeah.
Because I was just happy to be there. I was just like, I don't know what I can do today. I just want to show up. I would like to finish this race.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm making my mental anxiety go away by just being like, I don't have
it's
to
a
make
race.
these decisions. I'm
It's a
following Mike.
race.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
So,
know how to deal with the recap. Like, do we just go one at a time? Well, Mike and I we're gonna have the same recap.
Yeah,
oh, that's
we'll just chime in
true.
over each
Spoiler:
other.
we ran the whole race together.
You
Who would
did.
have
Yeah,
known?
start to finish.
This is the
Who would have
second time
thought?
we've gone start to finish, right, Mike? We did Disney.
Disney. I was like, wait a second, no, New York. I told you to go ahead because I was dying.
Yeah, and I left you. I tried to not leave you, and then the crowds and
Yeah,
everything.
but
And I was like,
my
well,
my muscles were spasming from dehydration. It was a rough time. But
yeah.
we've already discussed that numerous times on this podcast. Go back to the early episodes. You'll hear me complain about the New York Marathon in 2022.
Yeah. So pretty much as soon as we started running, I was like, I have to pee.
Yep.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, and it was like
Almost like less than a mile in.
it was that like we were in the corrals for long enough, and I was drinking water, and I was like, gonna have to pee. But I said to Mike, I was like, I don't have to go that bad. Like we can wait. If I get to a point where like I'm like, nope, I have to stop. I'll let you know. But I managed to make it until mile 6, where we hit the porta potties that were like there were probably like 10 or 15 of them there, and there was no line, so that was
Yeah.
good.
Oh, that's good.
It was
So we
in that.
eventually went into Lincoln Park.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
okay.
nice.
Mike and sorry, Jude and Dennis said that they kept catching like the back of you as you ran by anytime they got somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
like,
Jude like
Katie,
saw me
there
around
she
the
is. She
corner.
left us.
Yeah. So Mike's husband Jude and my husband Dennis and my baby were spectating the race while we were running. And they first what was that? It was like between mile 1 and 2, right? Or was it between 2 and 3? It was very early in the race, the first stop they were at.
Probably like
I thought it
around
was like
3, because
7.
3 is like a very
Right before
common.
the bridge. It was right after that first bridge, so maybe it was like 4.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna say it was between 3 and 4. So it was right near our hotel. They came out to spectate, and I had been getting updates from my husband about my son and being like, he loves watching the runners. He keeps staring up at the skyscrapers. He's just over 1, so he's very amazed by all of these things.
Yeah.
And when we ran up, he was so excited to see me. It was so cute. He gave me the biggest hug, and I
It
felt
was-
so bad when we had to leave because he did not want to let us leave. And Mike was like, I had said to Mike, I was like, Mike, if he starts crying, we have to run away faster because I can't start crying this early in a marathon. Like, I just can't do it.
Aw.
So as we ran away, I was like, la la la. He said, go, Mom. We're having so much fun, la la. I was very loud, so she couldn't hear him. 'Cause he was a little
Yeah.
teary.
Aw.
Yeah, but it was good to see them. It was it was exciting to see them.
That's
Yeah.
really cute. I've always wanted to see my kids on a marathon course, and neither of them give a shit.
Oh. I think he's little enough that like
He didn't have a
just
choice.
seeing me is exciting, even if he doesn't know why I'm
Of
running away
course,
from him.
of course, of course.
Was he subsequently a Velcro baby for the following week? Yes.
Yeah,
Hopefully, it's not permanent trauma.
yeah.
If I let go, she's gonna run away.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we ran up, we ran over the bridge, we ran back down and over the bridge again. We saw my friend Kate from Raw Threads shortly after that. She's on the Brooks Running Collective too, but she had been working with Raw Threads in Chicago. and she was nice enough to come out and spectate, so that was exciting. It's always fun to like have a few friendly faces on the course to be like,
Yeah.
ah,
Yeah, that's so cool.
you know.
We saw her twice, didn't we?
Yeah, the other,
Yeah.
I was kind of just going sequential. What's that word?
Sequentially.
Okay, yes, sequentially. I was going sequentially. Mike is a speech pathologist. He can help me with these things.
That's my day job.
Yeah. I was trying to do so my whole training cycle I've been trying to hit at least like 60 grams of carbs an hour. The gels that I carry are like 22-ish grams of carbs. And when I'm loading myself up that morning, I'm like, I cannot carry the amount of gels that I normally carry because I don't have my vest. And I'm like trying to stuff them in my pockets. I wind up giving Dennis a bag of gels to like pass me later. And as I'm going, like, I normally take a gel like every 20 to 30 minutes to get to that 60 mark. And I had felt really good with training, hitting 60. So I started fueling pretty early. But I was like nervous that I was going to run out of gels. So I definitely was like, instead of doing like 20 minutes, was doing like 25, 30 minutes. And it caught up with me. By the time that, like, you know, things were pretty good at the beginning of the race. We're having fun. We're hanging out. By the time we got to around the half marathon, I was definitely feeling like, why the fuck did I decide to do this twice in a row? A half marathon is more than enough. Like, I was very much like, are you kidding me? Yeah. And by like mile 15, I was starting to feel crappy. I was like, this feels bad. This, like, it wasn't even like my body felt bad. It was that I needed more fuel. So I started just like downing the gels that I had, and I texted Dennis to like pass me. It must have been before 15 because we saw him before the half marathon mark. So it was before. It was probably, let's say it's 12. So they were around mile 12 again, and Dennis was so involved with like holding the baby at that point that we completely forgot to like pass off gels, because the second time we saw them, the baby grabbed onto me for a hug and clung for dear life. Like, I felt so bad because it was literally like, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go, and I'd like try to take his arms off, and I'd get the tightest hug. He was like, and Dennis literally had to pry him off so we could go, and he was crying so bad. I felt so bad.
Little dude.
Poor little guy.
We were just like, I'm sorry, baby, I love you. I'll see you in hours from now.
I'll see you later,
at that point, we said, maybe take him back to the hotel room for a nap, and I will come to you guys when we're done, because I don't want to deal with him being that upset again. And I had taken a video when we ran in that time, so I had this all on video. My dad today, while I'm at work, texts me, we just watched that video of him seeing you at the Chicago Marathon, and he started crying. I'm like, no! He's traumatized!
Oh no.
Yeah, so we got that going for us. Maybe he doesn't need to spectate any races for a while. You might have been doing it right, Katie.
Yeah. Maybe.
In terms of fueling, I think I did, I wasn't upping mine as much as you were throughout training. Like, I did up it compared to what I normally do.
No, absolutely.
Because I normally just do like one every 45 minutes, and
I
wonder why I'm dead at the end.
Yeah.
So I was doing more than usual, but whereas you were doing more than I was. You were taking the
I was going like 60 to 80 normally. And part of that is because I'm still breastfeeding. So I knew that like I needed the extra fuel with that.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there wasn't a point where I was ever like, man, I'm hungry. Like, it never got to the point where I ever felt like unfueled, but like it got to a point like towards the back six of the race.
I was around the half marathon point where I was like, I have to start taking food from the crowd, because I could not, like, I was at the point where I felt like I could not stomach any more gels. And the thing is, like, I eat Huma gels. Like, they're like applesauce. It's not like they're hard to stomach ever. And I just, like, could not get myself to do it because I think I had, like, not fueled enough in the beginning of the race. And I immediately was feeling it. So then I was like, okay, that guy has a sealed pack of Oreos. I'm taking that sealed pack of Oreos. That guy has Halloween candy. It's in sealed packages. I will take one of those and one of those. Some Sour Patch and some Swedish Fish. Thank you very much. And then somebody had, like, the pickle juice shots, which I am a pickle person.
Yeah.
And when I saw those, I was like, Yes, pickle juice.
See, Kelly saw her pickle juice shot and had to do a pickle juice shot.
Yeah,
If
unlike
you
Mike,
don't
who did a
know, I
champagne shot.
usually drink during marathons. Like, give me some alcohol.
The only
So,
time I've ever drank during a marathon was the Disney marathon. We got those margaritas right before the finish line, but that was
and I
like
chugged mine.
literally we had like what, a half mile to go. Like
Yeah,
that's not that long,
I still
and you
chugged
did really chug that
I was
margarita.
thirsty.
Yeah, I mean it was very hot that day.
It was. It was roasting.
Yeah,
Um,
but
but I did do a shot of beer. I don't know what beer it was. Kelly did talk me out of doing a keg stand.
oh my gosh, you know how like
I
part
wish
of
you did one.
I kind of wish you did one too. In all fairness,
it
you
would have
kind of
thrown
talked
off.
yourself out of
I
it.
wouldn't have recovered. It would have thrown off the rest of the day. I know it.
It was at the point in the race where Mike was definitely hurting, and I didn't really talk you out of it so much as you very quickly talked yourself out of it.
No, that was the second keg stand that
Oh,
I said.
I didn't even realize it was
That's
the
when I
first
passed
one.
up the beer completely. The
Yes,
first one
that
was
one I
early
know.
on. The
I
first
didn't
beer,
realize that the first one even had a keg stand.
yeah, no, the first one because I did the beer first, and that's when they did the little shot cups.
Yeah.
That was the red solo cups that were just like a little bit of full.
Yeah.
And I was like, cake stand? You're like, no, no cake stand. I was like, okay. And then the second time, they're like, beer. Like, Mike, you can get some more beer. And the cake stand, I'm like, no.
I
'Cause
just
by
can't
the time,
imagine going
the
upside
second one was at
down
like
at
mile
that point in the
22. And I
marathon.
was like, I don't think I should do that. I think we're fine.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
also did a shot of, was it
Champagne.
Prosecco?
Yeah,
Or
it was some
champagne. It
sort
was a
of
champagne shot.
sparkling wine. Yeah.
It is a champagne shot.
that's
Mike's
nice.
husband Jude had said to Mike, like, maybe don't drink this marathon. I'm not passing you shots. Because in the past, we have enabled Mike by passing him shots. So anytime Mike went for alcohol, I was like, what would Jude say? I'm going to send him a video of this.
I mean, well, I texted him like, beer shot acquired, champagne shot acquired.
That's
Yeah.
He's
so
like,
funny.
are you hydrating regularly?
We
Yes,
were very
dear.
good about hydrating, I will say.
Oh
like,
yeah,
pretty
for
much
sure.
every
You were
aid station we went
Gatorade
through.
water every stop.
Yep. We did good with that. And we ran through the aid stations for the first, I would say until like mile 17, 18. We didn't stop for them. We took our hydration while we were moving.
Yeah, it was the
aid
later ones
stations
when
there were
you were hurting.
impeccable.
Yeah, they were very good.
They
Yeah.
were
I was
long
definitely
and
nervous.
they were incredible. So nice. There was no
Yeah.
crowding, which was so nice.
Yeah, when we got to mile 13 was the first gel stop, so they were supposed to have Morton.
Yeah.
They
The
did
more
not have
intense
any.
ones. Yeah,
What?
When-
that's when that's
At
when you
mile
had
13, they did not
Dennis
have any.
give Jude the rest of the fuel.
That was when I was needing more fuel, and we got to the first Morton stop, and they did not have any Mortons left.
Yep.
No way.
The subsequent two stops had them. The first one had none.
Oh man.
Yeah, so the
Signs
timing
were
was
set up, but
not
there was
great.
nobody there.
Yeah,
Oh, that's rough.
yeah. But yeah, so thankfully Jude was able to hand me the other half of my fuel that I had packed, so it wound up being fine. I felt much better as we got further into the race in terms of fueling. I just, you know how your body feels in the second half of the marathon.
I was gonna say, I think the last time we saw Jude was like what, 17 or
I think
18,
it was around 17.
sometime around there. And then I think we got like another mile or two in, and then that's when I was like, I'm gonna die out here. Like it was my freaking quads.
Yeah.
Like,
hmm
and like I think I spoke about this last time too, but almost everyone I talked to about this race was like, I had quad pain. Like it was the hips and the quads. Everyone was like, I don't know what the hell happened.
Well, you have no muscle turnover in this race. You're literally running, you're not going up a dramatic incline. You're not
Yeah,
going
you're just
down
autopiloting.
anything dramatic. So you're literally just working the same muscle group the entire time. Like, it's very painful after a while.
Yeah. So I took
Everyone
a
has that
few-
complaint about Chicago that it's like their quads and their hips.
Yeah.
It like
Yeah.
burns.
We
But yeah, we made
took a
it
few
through.
walk- That's when we started doing walk. Like we didn't walk for like outside of seeing the husbands.
Yeah.
We didn't stop until at least 19.
Yeah.
Like
At 19, we started saying, okay, we're going to walk the aid stations now. So we
Yeah.
started walking the aid stations. And then I would say probably like 22, 23 was when your hips were bothering you enough that you were like, I
Okay,
am
I
walking
need
the
to take
uphills.
a walk break. I need to stretch. Like we took a few
Yeah.
stretch breaks. I did stretch. I did that one bend over stretch on the side of the road. I'm like, oh, there's people right behind. There was like the fans were behind the fences. But
Yeah.
I'm just like bent over, stretching. I'm like, how's the view?
Enjoy the show.
I was like, you came for a show, I'll give you one. Are you not
Right.
entertained?
Guys, I do have to tell you, this is my 11th marathon. It was the first time I ever saw somebody who had shit their pants during a marathon.
Oh my god, right.
I feel
Oh,
like you
God, that
guys
was
like touched
bad.
lightly on this.
That was a mixture
There's
of
just a
like
guy in,
chafing
like-
and doo-doo.
I don't know if it was chafing that just went so bad that like the blood was drying and it was brown, or if he full on pooped his pants.
Oh
But
no.
yeah, and I mean he
It
was
was
going on
bad.
completely
He didn't
unbothered.
stop.
So
He finished
Good
the
for
race
him.
too. I saw it because he was in. I saw him when I was picking up my bag at the end. I did
Yeah,
see him.
yeah.
He did have a medal. He finished.
yeah,
So if you're listening out there, guy,
congratulations.
commend you.
Congratulations on shitting your pants and earning a medal.
Yeah,
You did
yeah.
it.
Hey,
We had to get out of that area real quick. I didn't want to be behind him for too long.
I was one of those things where I was like, I can't be around this. I can't take it seriously. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like you can't not look at it. It's very hard to be like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
blinders.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, so the marathon got tough. We kept going and going and going.
Got
We were
tough.
doing-
We got
so,
tougher.
I don't know that we did. I think we just resolved ourselves to death.
Same thing.
So I started the race like, okay, I'm gonna try to take a video every mile because I had my 20 miler. I had done that, and it really helped me like mentally break it up. And I was like, I'm not running for a time goal here. I might as well like enjoy myself, score some content. My videos get more and more unhinged as you get closer to the end of the race. Like I haven't done anything with them yet because the end ones are so fucking
Last at
miserable.
least 6 or 7 have got to be us.
Like Katie, I will send you
kill
one
us.
when we're done recording this. You have to see like the mile 22 one. We're just like, yeah, it's fucking mile 22. Great. Like we're just like so fucking miserable.
Remember we didn't. Oh, do we not? We don't have one for 17 though.
Okay, so we're running and we're like looking at our watches and we're like, we definitely went past 17. Like where was mile 17? So like we took a video during 17, but it wasn't at the mile marker.
Yeah.
And yesterday or the day before, I was like scrolling through my videos and realized it was at 17 was at a water
Maybe.
stop. And
So
it
we had
happened to be like
we
the
did have a
one
video
water
of us
stop.
chugging water.
Yes.
It
was
was
the-
that, it's like, oh, there's 17.
The one water stop that I happened to record at. So I was recording and drinking water and completely missed the mile marker sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
But it was funny to watch the video back and be like, aha, there it is.
Yeah. I knew there was 1 mile, I think it was 17, that I didn't notice the marker. And I
Because
like
it was in
kept
the middle of
looking
the
at my
aid
watch
station.
and
This
being
was our
like,
spot.
yeah,
Where is
I
it?
kept looking at my watch and being like, is my watch fucked up?
Yeah.
Is like, am I like super ahead on my watch, but I didn't hit this mile yet? I was like a little confused for a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had set my watch to auto lap, and I reached a point in the race where I was like, my time does not matter. I need to start using this to time my fuel because I would literally take a fuel and be like, I don't know how long ago that was. Like I had such like brain rot that I was like, maybe it's been 2 minutes, maybe it's been 45. I have literally no idea.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've already forgotten part of the marathon. Like it feels like a fever dream.
Yeah, the fact that it's
I have a
been
medal.
like
I must have finished it,
a
but
week and a half, and
I mean, I'm not ready to sign up for another marathon. I'll say that. Like, the way that the training went for me, I really struggled to get
Yeah.
the miles in. And while the baby is sleeping better now, knock on wood, I can't make that commitment again just yet.
yeah, understandable.
Understandable completely.
Yeah, but we made it to the finish line. They had you post race beers and medals and all of that jazz. And then the maid threw out my empty beer can.
Yeah, that's upsetting. I didn't even take one.
Yeah, I just wanted it literally to write
For the time.
my time on it.
I think I probably, like, if I was thinking more clearly at that point, I would have taken one just so I could do that too.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that she had thrown it out until we got to Atlanta, and I was like moving stuff around, and I was like, there's no beer can in here.
Oh, it sucks.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, Katie, what about you? Well, how is your race? Walk us through it.
Guys, my race was fucking awesome.
Yes! I mean, your pictures are the most amazing race day pictures I have ever seen. You
Yeah,
are full
I mean,
of
they
joy
always
in
are.
every single one.
Despite what she says, she always gets good race photos.
I have the last couple of years, and I think it's just because I'm honestly having so much fun when I'm
Aw.
out there.
Good.
My fueling
should
was
be.
great. What?
So you should be having fun.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing this for. We should be having fun.
Yes. So my fueling was like really good. I think I've gotten like super smart about how to fuel in like the last 2 years. So I know like exactly what I need to do. Um I ended up having from a half hour before to the finish of the marathon, I had 12 gels. Um,
Nice.
and I was able to carry all of them. I'm doing a not so humble brag for the run right now. In their Dasher Veros, I was able to fit every fucking gel in my pockets.
Nice.
I even carried a water bottle in my pocket at some point.
Oh wow.
And I had my phone in there, everything. It was fantastic. But it was the first year I didn't have to wear a belt, which was so nice. It makes such a
Yeah.
big difference for me. Um, I had a really great run. I went in with the goal of finishing in 3:49, and
Hmm.
I finished in 3:45.
Woo!
I went out a little too fast, and I like right away I was like, shit. Like my first mile was an 8-minute mile, and I was like, holy fuck, like there's not a chance in hell that I should be running that right now. So like the first 10K, I just kept being like, okay, I gotta try to like slow myself down a little bit. And like I was just having so much fun. I felt like I couldn't get myself to slow. Um, but I kept checking my heart rate. My heart rate was like exactly where it should be for race day.
Okay.
And I had the plan in my hand and I was like looking at the plan and like I was like praying I didn't trip while I was going like this with my plan.
What
And
is this, the plan for ants?
basically. And I got to like mile like 11 and my phone, so I had my phone in the For the Run sports bra
Mm.
um holder, the
Yeah, in
phone
the back
holder.
pocket.
And so with the aftershocks, if you like don't press the buttons fast enough to change the song, it automatically calls the last person you called.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at like
Been there, done
mile
that.
11, and all of a sudden I said, there's some guy running next to me, and I'm like, do you hear ringing? And he's like, what? And all of a sudden I hear, Kate? And I'm like, Dad? Like, where are you? So he's like,
Darren,
you,
I shit my pants. I'm in Chicago. Come get me.
I'm in the woods. You gotta get here. So
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
now I'm getting flustered because I'm like, I didn't mean to call you, And he's like, you're doing great, your pace is looking really good. So I'm like, all right, I'm trying to like fucking get him on
Yeah.
the phone. Um, Shortly after that, my headphones died. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
remember you telling us
how.
your headphones died. So this is a miracle call you got through.
I know. Aftershocks, I'm calling you out, dude. I charged those bitches for 24 hours and they died an hour and a half into my marathon. So at that point, like I know this sounds silly. I'm so used to running with music and I'm so used to music being such a big part of like keeping me in the zone that I was like,
Mhm.
I can either freak the fuck out that I have no music, or I could just make this really fun and be like having fun with the crowd. And like, I had to find a way to make it like workable.
Yeah.
So I like moved to the side. I was following the blue the whole time. So I like moved to the side and I decided that I was just going to scream with the crowd the entire time. I was going to clap. I was going to high five every fucking kid on that course. So I literally just had so much fun and I was cruising around like an 8:30 pace and I was like, this is ridiculous. So I was like, I can't believe I'm okay here, but I am. So I threw my pace plan out and was like, I'm just going for it. I knew I could hold on to it. Um, we got to like the 20-mile mark, and I know everyone hates that mark, the wall, like the wall. I love
Mm-hmm.
it. Okay. I love the wall because I feel like a lot of it, like when you're in like a pace that's not natural for you, a lot of it is just convincing yourself that you're okay and that you can push
Mhm.
through it. And there happened to be this guy on the side and he was screaming, kick the wall, kick the wall. And I was like, that's my dude. He knew I needed it. And I was just like, all right, well, I can either die here or I can just like try to push a little faster. I ended up
Yeah.
having some of my fastest splits in the last 10K. Um, I just kept like pushing through it and right around like the 20, like the 25 and a half mile mark, there was this guy on the side and he like was running and then all of a sudden he wasn't. And I was like, dude, I like grabbed his arm and I was like, it's right there. Like we can see it, you know?
Oh.
And he was like, it hurts so bad. And I was like,
Oh.
just smile. And like, if you smile, we'll get there faster, you know? So we ran together. He's actually in a lot of my finishing photos.
Oh.
Um, I had so much fun, guys. And like, I know this sounds silly, but I spent 4 years trying to sub for a marathon where like it was somehow part of my daily life. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this like every run counted towards that goal. And like I literally spent 4 fucking years grinding on that.
Hmm.
I remember you throwing out your sneakers at New York in, what was that, 2022?
I
Because you
did.
like just missed it.
I
And you
did.
Where
literally
you're
like,
like
yeah,
401.
No,
yeah.
so 2021 I ran a 403. 2022 was the really hot run and I ran a 405. And I was
Okay.
so
Like I know
pissed.
you were
I
so
remember.
close.
Yeah, I was pissed. And now that I did my I came in 355 last year in New York, right? And like ever since then I've been like the goal is done. Like I did what I've always wanted to do. I did a sub 4 and like I feel like now I know I'm capable of going faster, but I'm also totally okay with not going faster if it doesn't
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like so much less pressure to
Hmm.
make it
Hmm.
happen. And Chicago was such a big deal for me. I'm getting like upset. Sorry.
Oh.
But like Chicago, like I had to get through so many fears. And like
Hmm.
I had so much fun on that course. And like I always say, I'm my best self when I'm running because I'm like a
Oh.
fearless person when I run, you know?
You
Yeah.
And
are.
like the whole time I was just like so proud of myself for even getting there.
Oh.
So
You freaking did it,
You
Katie.
I
crushed
did.
it.
We're proud as hell of you.
I
You just
had
Like
gave me
my period,
goosebumps.
so please excuse my tears.
No. Tears are
But
people
acceptable.
like,
probably heard us screaming for you as you
so
like we
actually,
got your notification and we were like, fuck
right
yeah.
when I crossed, I looked at my phone, and the only text on my phone, and I knew it was you guys because you guys were like live tracking. The only text I had said, "Fuck yeah, Katie."
We were literally running, and I'm like looking at how long we've been running for, and I go to Mike, I'm like, can you check your tracker? I feel like she's probably done.
Yeah, because I got like the Katie past the halfway point, and like it was giving me the updates. I'm like, I haven't gotten the Katie finish yet. I looked, you had like just finished.
Like the
Yeah.
My
timing
phone just didn't give
was.
me the notification yet. Like we had looked at this almost like within 2 minutes of you finishing.
That's so
Crazy.
funny. Yeah, you guys like real like right away came up on my phone. I called
Yeah.
Darren right away, and
Aw.
I called him, and I like couldn't stop sobbing. Like I was just
Hmm.
sobbing, and I was like I. He was like, "What'd you do?" Like he's like, "It did." You know, I don't think it even loaded yet for him.
Yeah.
And he was
Hmm.
like, "What'd you finish in?" And I was like, "I just did that. Like I just ran a
Aw.
3:45 marathon. Like I could not believe it." And then Carolina gets on the phone. She's like, "Are you running?" And I'm like, "No, I'm done." She's like, "Where's that doll you said you bought me?" I'm like, "Hold on, let me check my Amazon." You know,
Kids will humble you, huh?
real quick.
Oh,
She didn't give a
you just
shit.
achieved your dreams. Where's that doll?
Yeah,
I'm drinking this
where's my
now.
dreams, mom?
I have dreams too.
But yeah, it was awesome. I loved it. I would run Chicago again, and I never thought that I would be someone who wanted to do anything but New York City.
Aw.
But it was a
So
great race. It
did
really
you
was.
exit a
And I
lotto?
had Sean, shout out to Sean from For the Run. He found me the night before. I was like, can you pass me a water bottle? I
Aw.
made Sean my water bottle friend on the side. And so he came and cheered for me at like 4. And then I saw him again at like, I think 7. And then he came to 14 and he had my water bottle for me. And I was
Aw.
like, thank God, because at that point I had like ran out of my first bottle of Element. And
Mm-hmm.
like, I need Element the entire time I run. Um, so he was able to pass it to me. And I just like, I chugged it till like mile 17. But I relied so heavily on those aid stations. Like, I was chugging so much Gatorade. Like, if I
Aw.
don't ever look at Gatorade again, it'll be too soon, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
So
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the same for you, but in the beginning of the race, the Gatorade was very Gatorade-y, and by
Yes,
the end, it was like
That's so
yellow water.
diluted.
it was so thick in the beginning, and then
Yeah,
towards the end, I was like, there's like a very
a
slight hint
hint.
of Gatorade in this
Oh,
cup.
is that a little taste of Gatorade?
Because in the beginning, I took the first sip, I'm like, whoa, and Kelly's
It
like, what? It's Gatorade. It's like a fish. I'm like, no, it's a powdered mix. Like I know it is. It's just never this potent
Oh
in
my
the,
God, it
like at
was
all ever.
it was thick. Like it was,
Like it definitely helped. Like I definitely like needed the variation between that and the water,
yeah.
but it's never that strong.
No, it was like, it was a
They had a
deep,
heavy
deep
hand those
Gatorade.
first couple stations.
But,
You could tell when they were running low because they were like, "Quick, scoop some powder, just throw it in, give them a
that's the
little."
one thing I've always
Bam,
like.
bam.
That's the one thing I've always like, not not disliked, but I've always been like. That's why I always feel like I can't fully rely on the
Yep.
aid stations because I don't know how much hydration I'm actually getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like that's why I'm always like
Exactly.
I need my Element with me. Um, but I thought the course was beautiful. I thought the
Oh,
crowds
for
were
sure.
amazing. The crowds were so fun. They
Even in the
were they
back,
were a
like
good fucking
No, they were
time.
great.
They
yeah,
were
like
really
where
fun.
New York sometimes towards the end of like in the later corrals, like it's really just the people who are waiting for their people to come by. But
Yeah,
Chicago, I feel like even
they
at the back, it
stayed.
was everyone stayed. Like
They
that
Just
stayed.
hanging
They were
out.
ready to party, which I thought was
yeah.
so cool. And I liked that it was like so busy towards the end because even in Central Park, I know there's a lot of people in Central Park, but I feel like it's such a different feeling than when you're on the street.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Central Park to me is always like the part of the race where it's like, it's dude, get me the fuck home. Like I can't
Yeah.
anymore.
I will say when we were running through Lincoln Park, it felt like Central Park.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
"Where's the Harlem Hill?
Oh God.
Where's the cat?"
Thank God there was none of those.
I saw a cat while I was running for the first time ever. I've
You
seen plenty of dogs. There was a man walking with his cat in a cat carrier.
no
Oh, that's
way.
right. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
I just remembered.
Because
Oh
he gets across the
wow.
street.
Oh, you know what I forgot today? You guys mentioned the triathlete before. Um, I was running two things. These were two moments that I loved on the course. Um, we were at like probably mile 18, 19, and I just like happened to glance at the guy in front of me, and he was wearing a shirt on the back of it. It said, "I fucking hate this sport." And he had on an Iron Man hat. So I like ran up to him and I was like, my friends are all triathletes. They would love that shirt, you know? And he was like, it's true. Like, we do not like running marathons, you know? So we were like chatting and I don't know why he was like, how old do you think I am? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, it's my birthday next week. I'm going to be 61. And he was running at my speed.
Oh my god.
And I was like, dude, you are gold right here. You know, like he was awesome.
Okay. So that makes me think of, at the risk of sounding political, I was scrolling through the Instagram feed last night, and have you ever seen that girl that, like, does the run, she does interviews on the run?
Kate,
I don't know her name.
was she in Central Park?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
She did an interview with Tim Walls where
Yes!
they're at a
Yes.
conversation.
Okay. Yeah.
They were running an 8:45.
Yeah.
Like, I was very impressed. He's not like a young man. The
No,
fact
isn't
that, like,
he?
he's
How
chilling
old?
at an 8:45, not out of breath, having a
How old
conversation.
is he?
Like,
He's
he's
60.
in his 60s.
He's
I'm not sure.
62, right?
I'm
Yeah.
not sure of specific.
But,
And
like,
he's
he's run a marathon and can do an 8:45 conversational pace. I was like, I like that.
yeah, right. Isn't that cool?
Right? Yeah, that was literally my thought. I was like, I'm shocked at how fast they're running right now.
Yeah.
I would have thought it was much slower just because they both seem so relaxed, you know?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, they both were. They were both casually speaking.
Yeah. I would have been like,
Casual 8:45.
yeah.
So my only like bad, I always have one moment on the course where I'm like, I could have been kinder, you know?
Aw.
Um, generally I'm very kind when I'm running, especially on a marathon, because I'm like, I love you all. We're doing this together. We were at mile 21 going into 22, and there was a man next to me that was hanging on for dear life,
Oh.
but he was grunting every time he took a breath. Okay. And I had no music. Okay. And like,
You didn't like
he
the
was
beat?
just, every fucking time. And he was literally running right next to me to the point where I looked at him and I said, I have to get the fuck away from you. Like, he was killing me. You know, when you hear someone else struggling and you're like, this is going to totally fuck me up.
Yep. Yep. That's what we heard about the poop man.
I went to the other side of the street because I was like, I can't listen to you for another second.
Oh.
You're killing my vibe.
I'm having fun. Stop it.
Seriously. Don't.
Stop heaving over there.
Nope. No
I'm having
heaving.
fun.
Oh, man.
But it was really fun. It was a
Aw.
very, very fun
I'm
time.
very glad you enjoyed it, and I'm glad you overcame your fears to get there.
Yes, I know. I'm like very excited about like the idea of traveling this year, this
Oh,
upcoming
good.
year to go do more races. Like a couple of my runner friends had suggested maybe we do like a Louisiana half, which would be so fun. And I know that I want my marathon next year to be destination as opposed to New York City. I'm actually not going to run New York City.
Wow. Sure you're not.
I'm not.
Katie, you said that
Sure.
this year.
I'm not running it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, so this is my goal.
I believe you. Right.
I
At this
have.
point in time, I believe you.
I have the ability to run next year if I want to, but my plan is to defer it until the following.
That's what you're going to do this year.
But
Did you
listen,
forget?
we're
Forget that
no.
what you were doing this year.
Yeah, but then I got into one of those moods where I was like, I could run 2 marathons in a month.
Katie, you can still change your mind.
I'm in it, guys. I'm in it.
You have a week to change your mind.
No, you know how I am. When I commit to something, I'm doing it, even if I don't want to. But I will tell you, I will never.
Those New York Roadrunner half marathons say otherwise.
Oh,
Called out.
listen. But if it's a marathon, I'm not backing out of that.
Oh, man.
You know how many
Okay,
half
guys.
I ran probably last year. I probably ran how many half marathons? 7.
Damn.
I ran a lot of half marathons. Okay, but anyway, my point is, we are 10 days out from New York City, and I can promise you this: I will never ever do 2 marathons in one season again.
No. Space them out a
We're
little
holding
bit.
you to it.
Yeah, you can hold me to it. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to the finish line.
I'm sure you will.
We'll see.
Okay, guys, on that note, speaking of finish lines, I'm putting us to bed. It's after
Okay,
my bedtime.
listen, I do have one thing to say, though. I love you both very much, and thank you so much for getting me there.
Oh, I love you too.
You were here. You were 100% a part of this whole thing. So
Thank you for keeping us accountable.
Oh,
Yes.
good. I'm so proud
And
of you,
inspiring
my
I
others.
didn't say I love
teamwork.
you guys. I didn't say it. I was too busy chatting. But I love you as well.
Until
Okay.
next time.
Until next time, everybody, enjoy the longest episode ever of the DNS Runners.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.